What's up, guys? My last video that I did was titled "Get Out of Your Comfort Zone," and that was I guess it was an introductory to this video. But I'm titling this video "Not of This World," and I'm gonna start off by saying that I don't have a problem being weird, unusual, strange, peculiar, a misfit, a freak, an outcast, a hooligan, or whatever else anybody wants to say or use for those terms. I feel like we have to strive to be different. I feel like we have to go out of our way to not fit in with the norm. And I'll gladly take any of these things to describe me. I don't look at them as insults, and I'll be happy to add those titles to my name because, and even though that's how I describe myself, and I also take pride in that. I like to stick out like a sore thumb. I like to be the ugly duckling. I like to be a black sheep in a sea of white sheep. And I remember one time, my family and I went to Golden Corral one night, and this man, he was sitting across from us, and he wouldn't stop staring at me. And as I proceeded to talk to the waitress, I stood up to go get me a plate of food, and the staring continued. And what it did is he ended up getting mad, and then he shook his head and did a little face palm thing. I didn't say anything to him, and I just wanted to finish eating. But the whole time we were eating, he was staring at me and my family. He was staring at me more specifically. But my mom made light of it, and I wanted to roll my eyes back and shake my head back, just as he did. But I wanted to do it mockingly. But I continued to keep my cool. I wanted to say take a picture. It'll last longer. But at this point, I'd been dressing like this for about 3 years, and people hadn't normally acted like this towards me. And it just seemed like after that incident, it started to become a regular thing. But I still wouldn't say that the worst happened until 2016 and 17. I went with my mom and my niece to Belk, and I saw this lady, and she said hi to us, and so I waved back at her, and as soon as I waved back at her, she said, "Oh no," and proceeded to pull her pocketbook in and hold her grandkid tighter. And I sit down and I waited for my mom and my niece to finish shopping. And before I knew it, I was being watched by a security guard in the store and a store clerk. And I've always kept that as a secret, but I'm revealing it here right now. And a part of me wanted to cry a little bit because I wouldn't hurt anybody. But I kept it all in because if I believe if my mom would have found out about that, it would have been a far worse situation. In 2017, on a day I was working, my work clothes were put in the wash, so I actually didn't have them up, and I threw on a Misfits T-shirt, and I had on one of my hats with the skulls on them, and a little mask. And the lady who was dropping donations by, she when I went out to greet her, she gasped, like she literally gasped, and then she screamed and just handed me her stuff and left. And I was expecting the police to come by my shed, and I expected to be fired for violating policy by not wearing a uniform, but nothing was ever done. So I mean, I guess the situation worked out in itself. But another reaction that I dealt with, and I got a kick out of this. This was 2016. It was a positive reaction, and it was my first day on the job where I was actually working it by myself. and I didn't have a uniform at the time, and I wore my Misfit shirt, and this woman in her 70s got out of her car, and it was crazy because she had on skinny jeans, Chuck Taylors, a Misfit shirt with a leather jacket on, and she had like gray and purple hair, and she donated clothes, and then as she was leaving, she told me to rock on, and it made my day. And it was the first day I didn't have supervision on my job, so it helped relieve a whole lot of stress. And I would run into this lady in Food Line a whole lot, and we'd always see each other, and I threw up the metal horns. And one of the most memorable reactions that I got was when another lady in her 70s saw me in my Iron Fist Michael Jackson Thriller shirt, and I had red and black checkered gloves, and she stopped me and started talking to me about how my style resembled the 80s and how she used to be a huge fan of Michael Jackson before he passed away. And it was the very same outfit that I wore to Golden Corral when that man was staring at me back in 2012. The lady was really cool, and she ended up giving me a hug and telling me she hoped I have a Merry Christmas because it was around that time. And the irony of all this is people in there from 60 to 90, people, I normally don't get anything from people between that ages, and people will say old people are the worst when it comes to dressing alternative and being different. But most of the time it's people in their 40s and 50s who decide to do this. And some of them even make a big, huge scene out of it. But it doesn't stop me from wanting to continue to do this. You know, I think of my style as out of this world, not of this world, and just Patrick being Patrick. And if I get stared at my whole life, it'll be worth it just doing something that I enjoy. I mean, that's why pretty much I'm a huge fan of the Black Veil Brides, because they pretty much encourage you to strive to be different. And that's what I want to be. I don't want to be the exact same as everybody else. All right, I love y'all. God bless y'all. Peace.